What's up, guys? It's Ransom here, and today we are back in Skyrim. Now, that's right, you guys, and oh snap, is it gonna be an awesome freaking day? So guys, welcome back, and happy Temper Tuesday. That's right, everybody. So, I am indeed still a human / orc. I just wanted to maybe put Dove a bit in the spotlight again. But today, out of all the mods you guys voted for on the last week's episode of Temper Tuesday, there was a tie, and now instead of breaking the tie, I want to do them both. So today we're taking a look at Dremora Hunter Armor and the Griffin Elven Armor. For those of you that have wanted to see both, you're going to get a nice helping of both. But before I forget, don't forget, down there in the comment section, vote 1, 2, or 3 on which mod you want to see in next episode of Temper Tuesday. So without further ado, let's get into this, shall we? So, the Griffin Elven Armor and the Dremora Hunter Armor, both mods by the mod author Legri. I've done quite a few mod showcases on armors by Legri. Now, where exactly do you come to find both armors? Well, the Griffin Elven Armor can be found in Dragon's Reach, which is where we're at currently. Now, Dragon's Reach, if you can see right there, and in fact, for the people that don't know where it's at, Dragon's Reach is sitting up on top of Whiterun, right here. So this is where you're going to want to come, and you're going to want to go straight towards the Jarl, but then you're going to want to turn right, and you're going to want to come up through here, and then immediately take a left, turn all the way around, and come right up here to where this little balcony is at. And this chest at the opposite end of the hallway is right where you want to go. Now let's go ahead and open this box up, because it is indeed a master chest, and unfortunately you have to steal it. Now this is kind of a pet peeve that I have with some of these armor mods, is the fact that they make you steal them, which means you don't actually like own them. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna have to do this hard way. So you don't actually own them, which is the unfortunate part, because say you get caught like lockpicking or stealing something, and the guard arrests you, he's gonna take your armor too. So that's kind of a drawback to this entire thing. So if this isn't for you, it could be something to keep in mind. Let's see, cheat lockpick. Thank you very much. And you know what? We need to get some lockpicks anyways. Miscellaneous items, and we'll just go ahead and come down here, and we'll grab ourselves, I think, 10,000 lockpicks or something like that. Come on, where's it at? There they are. Yeah, 10,000. Perfect. I will take that. All right. So now we can go back and open that box. Alright, so now we're back. Let's go ahead. Dove a bit, you want to open it? No, he doesn't want to open it. But let's go ahead and open this bad boy up, just like that. And inside, we have the Griffin Elven Butcher. We have the Griffin Elven Shield, the helmet. We have the boots, the armor, and the gauntlets. Now, before y'all get your panties in a twist, let's go ahead and turn the God mode off. That way no one freaks out at the tens of thousands of armor value. But let's go ahead and take that. Thank you very, very much. And okie dokie, so let's go ahead and throw this on, shall we? We'll get out of this orcish armor that looks really gross, and we'll throw it on this Griffin Elven Armor. Alright, so I thought that was just a little bit of a crash, but it was not. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and take out the Griffin Elven Butcher. Let's see what this looks like on an orc. Holy Jesus, look at this. Holy shit, I just look like a bird. It's kind of amazing. I gotta say, though, the Warhammer / mace, look at the size of this sucker. It's like he combined 4 Warhammers and then just added a giant yellow ball on top just for, you know, insult to injury. But I love the combination of 3 ebony shields and 1 massively oversized elven shield behind the 3 ebony ones. Very pretty looking armor. Now, before we get too far into taking a look at this armor, let's go ahead and grab the Dremora Hunter armor as well. In fact, we're going to go right back up to where the cheat room is at, because this one is actually craftable. So inside of the cheat room here, we're going to go and walk over here to our forging area. We're going to take all of this stuff, and we're going to come over to here. Now, this Dremora Hunter armor can be found under the Daedric Smithing section. Now, let's go ahead and find it, shall we? Dremora Hunter boots, and Dremora Hunter cuirass, and the gloves, and the helmet, and the sword. Now, let me see. The sword we just crafted. Perfect. I was going to say, let me look for the weapon, but I already crafted it because I said it. But let's go ahead and teleport back to Whiterun, and we'll take a look at both of these in depth. Okay, now perfect. Now we can go ahead and take a look at this armor in depth. We kind of had a little bit of an overview, but one thing that I love about this armor is if you notice some of the smaller details, it's actually Elven and Ebony combined into one solid light armor. Now the reason I say it's Ebony is because if you take a look at the gauntlets, those are actually the Ebony gauntlets, and in fact underneath it's got part of the Ebony cuirass down towards the waist. The leggings as well as, you know, the greaves are very reminiscent of the Ebony armor, which is very, very cool. Now the boots down here, let's see if we can get a better look at the boots. It's a little difficult to get down there to look at the boots, but regardless, they just look like uber, like elven boots. It's kind of cool. They got the big knees and all that stuff. Plus, I love the addition of the chainmail underneath the entire armor, because this armor is in fact light armor, but it really doesn't look too light, honestly. This armor looks like it could smack the shit out of any, or he could get the shit smacked out of him and get back up and continue fighting. Now, I'm not a big fan of the eyebrows, because they kind of look like eyebrows, the golden part by the eyes. Kind of interesting, but nonetheless, they're still cool. It's a nice accent piece on the headpiece, but overall, the armor itself is quite pretty. Now, we can go ahead and take a look at its sheath. That little mace is not little by any means necessary. Now, let's check out the stats, shall we? So, for the Griffin Elven Butcher, here it is, a little bit of a rotation right there. We have 32 damage, weight is 13, and 800 value. Now, the armor itself, we have a total armor rating of 231. Now, we have 56 on here, 43 on there, 27 on there, 38 on there, and 67 on the Griffin Elven Shield. Now, that's actually heavy armor, which is really interesting. Really interesting, although I believe all the shields are heavy armor, and I'm sorry if you just heard that. It is thundering for the 9th day in a damn row outside. But I like that it's light armor with some stats of heavy armor, because if you have like all the light armor perks in, this is going to be close to heavy armor, if not over heavy armor, which is pretty cool. So now that we've taken a look at the Griffin Elven armor, let's take a look at the Dremora Hunter armor and sword. In fact, we need to go ahead and take off the shield as well, because it didn't come with a shield, but look at this. It looks like a bona fide ebony armor. Now, the textures are a little less, or a little, what is it, a little less high res? Not as high resolution as the Griffin Elven armor, but you can see some small details on this armor that really stand out to me, one of which is, look on the gauntlets. Does that symbol look familiar to you? It should, because that's the symbol for Oblivion. In fact, that's the conjuration symbol, I believe. It looks like, yeah, I believe that's what it's supposed to be. Let's see. It might be that. It certainly looks that way. Am I the only one that sees that? I might be the only one that sees that. But even if it's not, it still looks pretty cool. Now, the one thing that I am noticing is the sword. What is this sword, you might ask? Well, it looks as if it's a retextured orcish sword with 2 shields of Ariel down at the hilt. Interesting design for a shield. Not sure if I like that a whole lot. It looks a little bulky, but to each their own. Now, the armor itself, I'm not a fan of the color, but the only reason being is because, you know, if it was just going to be a regular ebony armor, why not leave the color, you know? But what I do like is the emerald slash, you know, turquoise accent right there by the chin on the helmet. Because what this is it looks like a shaved down version of ebony armor. Now, you know, can you shut up down there, Preventus, you little dick? Now, like I said, the sword itself it's interesting. I don't know if I like the whole design, plus the hilt looks like it's not closed right there, which is, I mean, it's fine, but the whole thing is just interesting. It's a cool armor if you wanted to roleplay as, like, a Dremora hunter, you know, going out there as, like, a Vigilant of Stendarr who's had an upgrade to their armor. That might be kind of cool. That I can actually see this, because you have kind of the robes hanging down similar to the Vigilant of Stendarr, which is pretty cool. So if you wanted to be like the ringleader or the head of the Vigilance of Stendarr, this might be the armor for you. Now, the differences between the 2 armors that we're showcasing today is this one is actually heavy armor. And oh god, is it heavy, but look at the armor ratings. 193, and this is heavy armor. We had 200 and something when we had the Griffin Elven armor on. In fact, let's re-equip the Griffin Elven armor. It seems to take a second to equip the Elven armor, so if it does that on yours, just give it a few seconds. Oh, so see, the shield bumped it up. Aha! Okay, so there is indeed actually more armor rating with the Dremora Hunter armor rather than the Griffin Elven. But then again, both armors can be tempered, I believe. But you know what? Let's actually check that out. Let's run down to the cheat room real quick, and we'll see what we got. Alright, so let's start off with the grindstone and see if our 2 weapons can be tempered this way. So we have the Dremora Hunter Sword, which can be improved via 2 gold ingots, and we'll go ahead and go up to Legendary, and then the Griffin Elven Butcher can go up to Legendary as well, with 1 ebony ingot. Very, very nice. Now, because those can be tempered, I can assume that the armors can also be tempered, but, yes indeed. So golden ingots for the Dremora Hunter. So now, these are up pretty high, but the Griffin Elven, I'm interested to see how much we can actually get out of this. Just like that. Now let's compare and see which one's better. Now, our current armor rating with the heavy armor on is 248. Now, that's minus a shield. Let's see what the Griffin Elven is with the shield and without the shield. So we're at 248 with heavy armor and no shield. Let's see what we got with this. That's 216 with just the regular light armor. With the shield, 294. Which means the light armor without the shield is more armor, fully tempered up to legendary, than heavy armor, which is pretty interesting. Not to mention, as you go into your perk trees and you look at light armor and heavy armor, the more points you have into heavy armor and light armor will determine just how powerful these armors are. So guys, I think with that, we're gonna take a look, or we're gonna go and end off today's dual mod showcase. I know it's been the first in a while, the first dual mod showcase in a while, but guys, don't forget, vote 1, 2, or 3 on which mods you want to see next Temper Tuesday. And guys, I will see you in the next video.